We are back, and once again, welcome to Lisa Honeydeiu to the show.
Yo, yo, yo.
Photographer, fitness guru, all-round talented creative. Welcome,
Stop.
welcome.
Stop.
So, I want to get into what's your guys' PBs? I want to know.
PB
Probably
what are we measuring?
What's the?
Do you know what?
How much do you lift?
Do you know what? You know what?
1,000 kilograms.
Oh, 200.
Because like we got two
kilograms.
fitness people in the room. Why not ask them how much do they lift? So what's your PB and
Do you know what does PB stand for?
Deadlift.
It means Filipino boys. Oh, no, it means personal best. I'm not that freaking not Jimmy.
Jimmy, love it.
But in a deadlift, what is your PB? Don doing stuff.
I think the heaviest that I've lifted is 150 on deadlift.
Ooh,
Oh, that's
150.
solid.
Damn.
Solid.
150.
All right, so 150.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It's okay.
honey doing stuff.
I love the blend.
Yeah, say. I know. What's your PB in deadlifting?
Deadlift. 115.
Nice.
Shit.
Nice.
Well, don't worry, my PB is probably like 20 kilograms, so
That's not bad.
Hey, that's not bad?
If you can do a deadlift, like because a deadlift is quite a complicated like exercise.
It
to
is.
do.
It is because it's a compound movement, and you either do it sumo or conventional. I actually do it different. I do it duck stance.
You're gonna have to show me how you do that.
Yeah,
I've never
it's
seen
actually
anyone
the
do
leverage for me because I'm short. The range of motion is a lot shorter,
Yeah.
and I literally just stand up.
For all the people that aren't like don't know all the fitness jargon that we're talking about, a deadlift is how do I describe it? You're basically lifting something off of the ground and like it's stationary.
Yeah,
And you have to use your legs and not your back. And you know
That's
that
right.
you know that phrase that they say lift with your legs, not with your back. It's so important to do it with a deadlift because
it's all leg drive.
you can
Like
hurt yourself.
if your back hurts, then you're not
You're doing
doing
it
it right. Yeah.
But yeah, that's deadlift, and
So speaking about working your legs, in working your legs, you have to have a journey. So the beginning of your journey
Yeah.
in the creative field, how did you get into wedding photography?
can I ask?
Could we actually
I love
start
the
with?
segue.
could we
I know,
start with
right?
From PB to wedding photography.
Podcast kings right here.
Can I ask which came first? Was it photography or was it fitness for you?
It was photography.
Okay.
Photography first. I mean, I had an interest in fitness during uni, but it was more so like cardio. It wasn't. I didn't lift weights. So photography definitely came first. But how I got into photography is I actually started filmmaking.
Hey, shout out to all the
Yeah.
filmmakers out there.
So I fell in love with filmmaking, videography. I
Nice.
say towards the end of high school, back in like movie maker days. I actually had a camcorder
Wow,
back
movie
then.
maker.
Yeah, yeah, we go way
Nice.
back.
OG.
But I realized that it wasn't my passion. I wasn't really good at it. Like it would take me like 6 months to cull, a shoot. So it would take me
through
way
editing
too
and
long.
stuff.
So in terms of like the workflow, it wasn't for me. It was draining. I didn't enjoy the process. But then so I shifted to photography and I realized I was good at it. I was good behind the lens and taking photos rather than videos.
And you enjoyed it more.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I started off as a hobbyist and just shooting portraits and then, birthdays and whatnot. And then people started reaching out, be like, hey, Lisa, you want to shoot? I mean, at the beginning, you do everything for free, right?
Yeah.
And it comes to a point where, like, I got to put a label on it. I started, labeling Honeydeiu. Honeydeiu, my last name is Dieu, so that's where Honeydeiu came from.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, that's how my photography journey started, and I'm leading to almost 10 years.
Hey, shout out to that.
Nice. Well done.
Nice.
That's awesome. I think, and a lot of people may not know this, but I think you've done a bit of dancing as well.
Yes.
Yeah. So because I've seen some stories on Instagram. You prepared a dance for your fiance.
Yes. For our wedding day, our would-be wedding day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid COVID.
Yeah, I know.
Stupid COVID. F that. But yeah, like, do you want to talk little bit about that, or are you less of a dancer now? Are you more just photography?
I
and
dance
fitness?
here and there. Like I just take casual classes because it's what makes me happy. I love moving. I love dancing.
Yeah.
I'm happy when I'm in a dance class or learn a routine, and you can just let go and just let your body flow.
Yeah.
So I always loved dancing. At a point in time, I actually wanted to pursue it full time.
Yeah.
But with my family being, traditional Vietnamese, they were really conservative, and they're like, no, you're not gonna make a living, doing anything creative. So I always had to have a side job plus photography in my creative pursuit. So I always had a day job for financial security.
Yeah.
So with dancing, we actually had a dance crew called 3D Reborn. Vienna was actually a part of it.
Shout out.
Yeah, and we did a lot of philo gigs, philo concerts. We were backup dancers.
Yeah.
We
Did
did
you do Philo Fiesta?
Did we? Oh, no, not Philo Fiesta. We did dance for Sarah Geronimo.
Nice.
I didn't even know who Sarah Geronimo was.
I mean that's better than Philo Fiesta.
Yeah,
Dance
yeah.
for Sarah Geronimo.
No,
That's-
but you're not in the Asian creative scene if you haven't done anything on the Philo Fiesta,
I mean,
right?
Sarah Geronimo, bro. That's
So-
up there. But yeah, you were dancing.
Yeah.
What was the name of the crew? 3D.
3D Reborn.
3D Reborn.
Will they be reborn?
No, because they've already been reborn. Because it was like a 3D crew
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
And then we started up the dance crew again. That's why it's called 3D Reborn. But no,
Right.
it's not going to be
We could be 3D reborn again.
again.
Reborn.
Again.
Reborn
It can
again.
be.
I'm back.
So the girls that you saw on my
New video.
they were actually part of the dance crew.
Nice.
Yeah. So we still dance till this day. Jasmine, she still dances till this day. Like she'll take classes.
Yeah.
Whereas most of us were kind of, went our own separate ways. Like I'll take casual classes here and there.
Yeah. Did
Yeah.
that lead you into the fitness journey, doing dance? Because you're talking about movement. And
Yeah.
talking about-
So dancing, I always wanted to do when I was little. But my mom, she was really strict. She's like, nah, you got to focus on your study. So as soon as I finished school, the main purpose of dancing was to build my confidence and self-esteem.
Yeah.
Because, when you dance, when you're on that stage, you can be whatever persona you want. You can be sassy, you can be sexy, you can be gangster, and no one will judge you for who you are on stage. And even if you fuck up, like even if you
No,
stuff
no,
up, no, like
No,
you just
no.
gotta
Just
roll
keep
with it,
going,
right?
yeah.
Do a limp leg and just like a little stink eye to the crowd, and they know what's up.
So that was like my main purpose of starting dancing, was actually building confidence and self-esteem and
Nice.
being comfortable with my body.
Yeah.
So that was my first step of personal growth in terms of confidence. And then that's when it kind of delved into the fitness, but I got balls deep into fitness was actually when I left my ex.
Okay.
Hey,
Okay.
it's kind of like how musicians write the greatest stuff when they get broken up.
Yeah.
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 Like Don is very experienced in that. One of his best songs is when he broke up.
Right.
Check
We
his
got to hear
catalog,
it.
yo.
Shout outs to all of Don's
Full
exes.
document.
I thought you were gonna say I'm experienced in breaking up.
Shout
That's why I'm like always in the gym. That's what I thought you were going.
But that seems to be like heartbreak is a very strong emotion that leads you to different directions.
Yeah.
Like if we want to go to Nat's story, he traveled to London. If he didn't get his heart broken, it
Yeah.
wouldn't like snowballed into where he is now.
What are you
Imagine
talking about? I chose to do this. I chose to.
that. But
I think-
I'm just saying,
Totally.
there's energy.
There's
Yeah.
that meme that it's like breakups make bodybuilders. Have you seen that?
Oh no, I haven't.
There's a meme. It's like breakups make bodybuilders, and I remember one of the things that I will send it to my friends every time.
Yeah.
Like if someone goes through a breakup, I just send them that. You know what you got to do, man. You know what you got to do.
Yeah, it was a drive to change, and I wanted to pursue bodybuilding when I was with my ex. I actually did a shoot with a bunch of women who transformed their bodies within 12 weeks, and these women
Wow.
don't train at all. I mean, some of them did, but some of them never
12
set foot in a
weeks.
gym. So within 12 weeks, if they can transform their body from, I saw their before pictures to the
After,
day that I
yeah.
was doing the shoot, I was like, God damn, like if they can do it, I could do it too.
Yeah.
But I was with my ex at the time, and he was a bit, controlling. He didn't want me to.
Was he intimidated?
He was
Maybe.
inferior.
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was bigger than him. Like naturally, I got bigger legs, and I made him feel smaller than him. So it was only until like we actually broke up that I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. I actually created like a Facebook group saying, this is the day of the comp. So there's no backing out. I had to follow through with my goals.
I like that.
And just keep me accountable.
I like that a lot. I think the theme there with all of those breakups or with breakups is that people try to find like ways to better themselves. And it sounds like that's what you did with,
100%. It changed my life. It was life-changing for me. Like, I think I should thank him for the breakup because I wouldn't be where I am today. I'd probably be still, running on the treadmill. That's all I was doing, just running on the treadmill and just doing sit-ups in hope that I would get abs. Because I didn't know any better. I was too scared. I was one of those girls that would...
Damn, that's me now. Sorry.
Don't worry, Nats.
That's all I do. I'm not
going
to get abs. I run and do sit-ups. You're telling me I'm not going to get abs? No wonder. This shit has been here for years.
Abs are made in the kitchen.
Sorry. Anyway.
Yeah. So I was one of those girls that would set foot into a gym and would not touch the weights because it was daunting. That's where all the guys hung out. Right? And all the women would just be in the cardio section.
It's intimidating. Yeah.
It is intimidating. So
I get that. Even for me, man, get into the gym. It's really intimidating.
Yeah, because
even for me, bro.
Yeah, because you don't want to feel like you're doing something wrong or you don't want to look like a fool. So it took me a lot of courage to kind of get over that. So I was in a team. So my first bodybuilding team, I was with a bunch of girls and we would train together. So I kind of knew what I was doing. I was learning how to do exercises and whatnot.
Yeah.
And so from there, it kind of built my confidence into doing bodybuilding.
I like that. Yeah. That's really cool. I used to follow, there was like those meme pages, like gym meme pages. And it shows all the people like doing stupid stuff in the gym, right?
Yeah.
And I used to find it funny. But then it got to a point where I'm just like, we shouldn't be making fun of these people. We should be like trying to educate them.
Yeah.
Because I feel like having that kind of culture in a gym where you look down on the person who doesn't know what they're doing is really bad because they're in there trying to better themselves.
Absolutely, yeah.
And
they're making a step to changing themselves by being at the gym.
Yeah.
And because they don't know how to use the gym equipment, they're using how they see fit.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what I love about the climbing community because it's so different. Everyone is actually, they're helpful. Everyone's supportive. Everyone helps you with your beta on the wall. Sorry, beta is your way up the wall.
For context.
Yeah.
It makes you feel better about yourself. Sorry. It was just there.
You just had to drop it.
Had to go in there. But yeah, that's another thing that you do as well. You do bouldering or you do like climbing.
Yeah, I started bouldering. You're going to laugh at me why I wanted. So why I actually started bouldering was because I wanted to do Ninja Warrior. I think we spoke about this, right? Yeah,
yes.
And it's a long road.
That's cool. Yeah,
it might be, I don't know, 4 years because I've got years of catch up to do.
Yeah. Some of the competitors on there were like ex-gymnasts.
Yeah, that's right. They've got years up their sleeves. Whereas bodybuilding, it doesn't really have any transferable skills to Ninja. Being dynamic. Like for me, heights was a big thing. I mean, if
you've got to jump.
If you have a fear of heights, like good luck. You can't even. You probably like bomb out on the first obstacle. So heights was a big thing, and just grip strength, just strength, upper body strength on the wall.
Yeah.
So that's why I started bouldering, and I started going to the Ninja Gym here in Mountie.
Mount Druitt,
Yeah.
Mount Druitt.
Just to.
I have yet to try that.
No, you'll love it. You'll love it. Yeah. So in terms of like dynamic movements, I get it.
Bouldering is the one.
Because like people start climbing on him.
Bouldering's the one without a rope, yeah? Oh, sorry.
Ralph's just making a joke, but Nats is trying to say something serious. Go ahead, say it again, Nats.
It's lagging, sorry. No, I'm just, maybe for context as well, and just to refresh my memory, bouldering is the one without a rope, yeah? It's the one where you sort of go like sideways, but it's not as high.
It's not as high. Yeah, it's without a rope. Without a rope. Yeah.
No rope, eh? Yeah.
So it's more problem solving.
I tried doing that the other day. It's hard, man. It's really hard.
It's fun though, hey.
And I didn't realize like the color coding as well is a thing. Like you can only use those certain ones.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is easy because I was just using whatever color. And everyone's like, no, you're only supposed to use like if you that blue, you're blue.
Yeah.
If you're black, whatnot. And then when I tried it again, I was like, oh fuck. So now I know how it feels to be like free solo. Just, that's all I had in my mind when I was doing it sideways. I'm like, oh shit, if I fall, I die. It's fun, man. It's fun.
It's real fun. It's real fun.
Anyway,
It's more
thought I'd
like
just add that.
problem solving. That's what
Yeah.
it is. And everyone's way up, everyone's beta is different because the way I climb, the way you climb, the way a tall person climbs is so different. So you have to find your own way up.
When I first went, because
Can you confirm this? It's
I was gonna say a lot of my friends. No, it's okay. It's because there's latency on the line. But a lot of my friends they also do bouldering, and when I went with them, I didn't use my legs at all, so I was campusing. It's called campusing when
cheating.
you're just using your arms just to climb up. But it was
were you just using your arm strength?
yeah, my upper body strength for it.
Yeah, because apparently it's all technique. Yeah,
It's
sometimes you can even lift yourself with like your fingers if you you can like.
Yeah.
They say
Move your weight
if you
at
press
certain-
hard
yeah,
enough,
yeah.
anything will be a jug. So jug is like an easy hold. So
Yeah.
even if it's a tiny hold, if you press hard enough, it will be considered as a jug.
You have all the terminology. I don't even know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, like
Yeah,
it's
the jug. Add that to the list. Jug.
Jug, TB.
Jug,
them-
jug.
that's
G-
What were you gonna say, Nan? What were you gonna ask? Confirm something?
No, that was it. It was that the whole like it's all about technique
Yeah.
type thing. Because I remember when I first started, I wasn't doing bouldering, but I was doing the one with the rope. And there's less fear because if you fall, whatever.
I got you.
So I was just hammering it with like arm strength, but I realized I'd be so tired maybe the first 3 runs,
Yep.
and other people could still keep going. And then I just I don't know how I kind of learned it myself. I just started like, wait a minute, I don't really have to try too much, and I kind of just naturally
use your legs more.
learned. Yeah, like just everything and just, putting the weight at different places. I just felt like Spider-Man. I feel like I could climb up the wall really easily. I was like, this is so weird. And I don't go gym or anything like that. It's not really about the strength. It was just when I learned to do
Yep, just
the
climbing
technique
more
part.
efficiently.
And I think that's the missing piece. But yeah.
Hey, I want to bring it
Yeah,
back
man.
to something you were saying earlier, Lisa, about first going into the gym and you were just doing cardio and sit-ups, and now you obviously know more exercises and how to complicated things like deadlifts and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have the same idea where in order for them to lose weight, they need to like eat less or just do cardio, and they have a very, very low understanding of fitness and health and all that stuff. What is your opinion, or what kind of advice would you give to someone who is looking to get fit but then has no idea what they're doing?
So with my clients, it all depends on their goal. Is it weight loss, fat loss? Is it to build muscle, retain muscle, tone up and whatnot? Some people actually don't even know their goals.
Yep.
So it depends on their fitness goal ultimately. Even if they're a fighter, if they've got a sport that they do, so that's more performance based rather than weight loss, fat loss, and all of that. So with anyone wanting to pursue their fitness goal, they have to. My job is to kind of flesh out what is their goal. So with how I educate my clients is it's all about the calories.
Yep.
First and foremost is to kind of work out their maintenance calories and then work out what they're eating. So I would give them a diet plan to kind of keep them in line of their calories.
Yep. So for the people that don't understand, because I understand exactly what you're saying, for the context of our listeners out there, maintenance calories would be what?
How much they're eating in a day that would maintain their weight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then from their maintenance calories, their base calories, I'll work out a diet plan according to that. If they want to lose weight, then I'll deduct it on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
And that in itself, that's where the magic happens, is the diet. Like the training is the easy part. You can just do, a couple pull-ups and push-ups and whatever.
Yeah.
But the magic happens, like you said, you get the abs in the kitchen, right?
Abs are made in the kitchen,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen.
So you have to know what you're eating. And for example, with Leanne, we are flexi dieting. So instead of sticking to a rigid diet, she's flexi dieting and sticking to her macros and calories nonetheless. So macros is your proteins, fats, and carbs. And you need those 3.
Yeah.
Unless you're on a keto diet and whatever. We're not going to delve into the different types of diets because there's so many fad diets. There's so many other ways, and there's not just one way of doing things. So it depends on your lifestyle. If you're a vegan, if you're, plant-based, or if you want to go on a keto diet.
Vegetarian, all that stuff.
Yeah, that's right. So there's heaps of ways of doing it. But the way I do it and the way I educate my clients for the Gen Pop is to work out the calories and give them a workout plan to go in conjunction with that in order for them to reach their goals.
Yeah.
Speaking of diets, what camera did you use when you started taking photos? I'm just totally out of my depth. You guys are like talking all this fitness jargon. I'm like, she does photography too. Maybe I can talk about
how about we dumb it down? Because like
That's
I got a question.
go for it, man. Go for it.
Coming from a non-fitness person, I'm kind of like Raph. I'm just like this now. Like what macros? I just heard macaroni. But anyway,
Yeah, calories and macros. Go on, ask your question.
for example, I've had a gut for as long as I can remember.
Yep.
I've been trying to get rid of it for so long. If I did the most like hardcore diet regime
Yep.
on your programming, whatever, how long would it take for me to lose my gut?
How long is a piece of string?
How long are you willing to commit?
It depends.
So I mean, you can stretch it out.
No,
You
but
can-
like
you can.
Look,
estimate.
No, so I'll let
So
I'll let
it
you answer
depends.
this.
I mean, I don't know anything about your lifestyle. I don't know how much you weigh. I don't know what your active life is like. I don't know how tall you are. So I need to know all the details. And I mean, you can lose your gut within 6 weeks if you wanted to, but it's not going to be easy. It's going to be death.
6 weeks.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have a
6
6-week
weeks of
shred
death.
challenge to lose weight, and it's purely just to lose weight or fat loss. But that it's extreme because every week I'll be deducting your maintenance calories by 10%. So by peak week, you're eating fuck all calories. You're eating like probably 700-800, depending on your maintenance calories. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that the main point is here, like
Ooh.
if you want to lose weight or lose your gut, it's really important to reach out to a professional, someone to help you, a professional like Lisa.
Yeah.
Because
to
most
do those
people would
measurements.
just probably starve themselves or be in a huge calorie deficit. But it's not sustainable because you can't eat only just
Can't do
500
that.
calories for a long period of time. I mean, it's going to do metabolic damage and your brain can't function on 500 calories.
Yeah.
So a lot of people do starve themselves. And yeah, they could drop off the weight in the first 2 weeks, but then they'll plateau and that becomes their new maintenance calories is 500 calories. And that's not sustainable at all. So as soon as you overeat by a little bit, you will blow out. And it happens to bodybuilders all the time. Like after their prep, they're like, oh crap, they're not going to reverse diet. So they're eating everything. And then they end up being larger and heavier than what they did the first week of their bodybuilding prep.
Before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn.
And
Okay, so starving myself won't work. I have to do 6 weeks.
Starving
Yeah.
yourself will
No,
not work, Nats.
definitely
no,
not.
Won't work.
You might as well just eat everything, right? You plan. Just eat anything I want.
It's the rap way. Continue doing what I do now.
I think your first mistake was having me as your
man.
personal trainer.
PBs. Do your PB.
Do your PBs. All right, remember, Filipino boys.
Filipino boys is the PBs. For a little bit of context, a
The
little bit
PBs.
more context for the listeners out there, macros refer to macronutrition, and it breaks it down into, like as Lisa was saying, those parts, the protein, how much
carbs,
protein, how much carbs, how much fat
Fats.
is in the food that you eat, and like Lisa, you and I have had this conversation before about like different goals or different sports, arts, whatever you want to call it, have different percentages. So like a boxer's diet, macronutritional breakdown would be 60% carbohydrates because they use lots of energy. They need
Any
that energy.
performance. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, maybe an equal amount of fat and protein. Whereas a bodybuilder's diet would be like,
You need protein. If you're going to build muscle for hypertrophy, it's crucial that you have to eat protein,
yeah.
a lot of protein.
Yeah, so it's those kinds of things. It depends. It comes back to what Lisa was saying about
Goal.
depends on what your goal is, and once you know exactly what you want to do, then that's how you can get to that point.
Okay, so I think I got this. So I'm going to explain this to Nats the way he only knows how. So,
Thanks, Raph.
boom bap hip hop.
Translation.
Boom bap hip hop is not for everyone, right? Sometimes you have to have
Yeah, it's
a
not.
particular mind to understand the metaphors and the syllables in that's used in the lyrics of boom bap hip hop, and the way that it's been delivered in its cadence. You can't deliver, say, mumble rap to someone who's really interested in boom bap hip hop, right? And then sometimes you can dwell in other genres that like boom bap hip hop, say like G-funk rap or West Coast rap, or even say modern day Kendrick Lamar inspired rap, J. Cole's and all that stuff. But you can't. There's too much differences, say, for a mumble rap to be fed to a boom bap lover. So you just got to find your groove. It really depends on how your mind works in hip hop. And once you get that right music into you, it's all about rhythm, right? All about cadence. That's why people that like boom bap hip hop loves that little cadence and that the samples, the way that it's delivered, the DJ Premier sound, all that stuff. So all that ingredients, and once you find that rhythm, you found your right genre of hip hop that you want to listen to for your mind to be fed.
Amazing.
You'll experience the change in how you see music, right? All right.
That's just like
Amazing.
I got it.
Amazing. Thank you, Raph. Wow.
I mean,
so clear, so clarity.
What did you think of that, Lisa, as an explanation?
yeah, I did not understand that at all. I'm like, oh yeah,
Lisa doesn't know hip hop. It's okay. It's all good.
cadence,
Hey,
But again,
PB.
Cadence. Bars.
downward dog.
yeah, like the elements of boom bap would not work with the elements of mumble rap, for instance. And so you need to kind of understand what
Some people like self rap, they like trap music,
yeah.
Some people like the New York style. Sometimes they have to go for a California feel. So there's always different genres in everything. And in fitness, they have different diets and different ways to train. If you want to be a bigger person, you train differently than if you want to be very cardio based. All right, I'm just trying to know what I'm trying to think.
That's all good. I think that leads on to an interesting topic as well. Like, there are so many diets in quotation marks or like fad diets out there, and there are so many types of exercises. There's like you can do.
There's so many variations.
Yeah, so many variations. Yeah. And what I've found is like all of the things that I've tried in my life, I've taken this stuff that works well for me and kind of just forgotten the rest of this stuff. Because it comes down to, as Raf was saying in his analogy, like what is it that you're trying to go for when
That's right.
what your goals are. I know that I'm like instinctively trying to like dumb it down for you guys because I know that Lisa and I could talk about this for ages.
I'm just waiting for the camera talk.
Do you guys have any questions in terms of like for health and fitness, like for Lisa? Because I know that a lot of the stuff that I would ask.
Out of everything because people we were talking about how you wanted to build your body and you can tone your body or you can go very cardio. There's different ways to do a fitness route. What made you choose the bodybuilding route?
Well, like I said earlier, I was inspired by the photo shoot that I did with a bunch of bodybuilders, and I saw these women like they could put on muscle but still look feminine and sexy at the same time.
Hey.
So that was the common misconception about women with muscle is it's gross. You girls look manly and, girls shouldn't have muscle, girls shouldn't lift. But I found, women that are strong, women that have muscle, I found that appealing and I like that. So that was my goal. So I was so inspired from that shoot alone. And that's why I thought, I wasn't confident with my body to begin with. I was always conscious about my big legs. But doing bodybuilding, I embraced that. Like at the beginning, it was difficult because I did a category. It's called bikini. Now, for those that don't know, in bodybuilding terms, bikinis for more like the swimsuit body type. So smaller upper, smaller lower, not too ripped, like a bit of tone on the abs and arms and whatnot, but not too shredded, like no striations or vascularity. But for me, I didn't fit in bikini, and that was like my first coach. She put me in bikini, so I didn't place at all. And I didn't fit into fitness, which is the one category up, so you're a bit more shredded, but the legs are still smaller. And the one up from that as well is called figure. So they do more bodybuilding poses where they flare out the lats, and you'll see the poses where they flex on top of their heads and whatnot. I didn't fit into that category. either. So I went from bikini all the way to physique, which is the other side of the spectrum. So the bodybuilding, where I'm barefoot and I'm doing the manly poses. And I won.
Nice.
So from I won states at my first physique comp.
Yeah.
And then I competed internationally and won my pro card.
Congrats.
Thank you.
That's nice.
Sorry, I just want to ask, like, so you saw misconceptions of a bodybuilder and the negative connotations or like perspective of it. So while you were doing that, did you feel any of that? Like, did you feel people looking at you differently?
Oh, 100%.
Like
People, I'll be turning heads, whether in a good or bad way. I didn't let that affect me. Whereas before, I would let others' opinions affect me. And with bodybuilding, you're not going to please everyone, and you don't have to. You have to do you. As long as you're happy and you're confident in your own skin, in your own body, that's all that matters.
100%.
So for me, I had to build resilience and kind of not give a shit what people thought. So
I like that.
yeah.
I think that's his calling. Edit point.
That's not calling.
Pause.
All right, let's go back to the conversation. He'll pop up. Actually, let me give him one more time. Hit a point. You're doing well.
You are.
Thank you.
I told you, man.
Leanne made me do this.
He has to go. Bad news.
Okay, all good.
It's all good.
For a photo.
Behind the scenes with Leanne Melody.
Okay, and 3, 2, 1.
I really like what you're talking about with finding the confidence in yourself and building yourself up and finding your own lane with the bodybuilding, because you may not fit in a particular category, but then you found the right one for you, which is the
Physique.
physique one.
Yeah, because I was kind of in my own category for a bit, so I had to build my upper body to kind of balance my lower body because I was so bottom heavy. So it took me about a year or so to train my upper body to kind of match and be in balance, because it's all about symmetry in bodybuilding.
Yeah.
So that's I found my own category finally and embraced my big legs. So it wasn't until I did bodybuilding that I loved my big legs. Whereas before I would be so self-conscious about big legs because I couldn't find jeans that fit me. I couldn't find clothes that fit me. I wanted to wear shorts confidently without being, judged and looked at and whatnot. But now, like, I don't care. Like, I'm so comfortable in my own skin. And I've accepted my body type. Like, I will never have skinny legs. Yep. It's just my genetics.
I can tell how confident you are about it is because, confident about your quads because you have massive quads. Your quads are bigger than mine. And like you are so confident that you actually have an apparel like fitness wear called Quad S.
Yeah, it's called Quad S.
Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so I've been sitting on this idea of launching a gym wear for about a year now.
Yep.
But it wasn't until I did like Leanne's course, Impact and Influence, that kind of got the ball rolling.
Shut up.
And in Leanne's course, she helped me discover more so about my branding, my soul print, my why, my ethos, like my purpose. What brings me joy?
Yep.
What's my purpose in life? And with Quad S, it fits right into what I want to do. Like I love to, and I want to empower other women to embrace their own bodies because everyone has different body types.
Yeah.
And for me, this is a way of showing self-love, wearing activewear and being confident in it and working out at the same time. So, I mean, it's in the works right now. I put in my first order and I'm waiting for it to arrive in about hopefully a week's time.
Hey.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
That's exciting
times.
And I love that you're like empowering women into if you got it, you flaunt it.
That's right.
And then that doesn't go in. Also, it doesn't limit yourself to the physical appearance. If you have that self-esteem and that confidence, why not flaunt it? People
100%.
think that, oh, I'm just showing off this thing because, it's just more so I want to brag about things. But if you got it, you flaunt it, because confidence in yourself is more important than worrying about what other people think. It's not about anyone outside the Instagram world. It's not about anyone that's outside this podcast. It's about who you think you are as a person. And that is more important than anything else. And then if you got that self-confidence, you might as well just flaunt it out, because you never know who you can inspire.
100%.
And I really admire the fact that you are taking this route, and then seemingly, we'll just say, turn your flaws into like strengths.
Yeah.
You
My
see that
assets.
your legs are, you thought you hated them, and then you realize that I could turn this around. This is going to be helping my self-confidence, turn it into a positive thing. And that could reach out to someone out there who thinks, oh, I hate the way that my hair sits. I hate the way that I can't, lift or I can't like
PB.
get my PB. But you can really flip someone's
PB.
perspective by inspiring them. And the way that you're just going about it's starting off with your bodybuilding, your route, and also the fitness route. You're totally inspiring a lot of people, especially in the female demographic.
Yeah.
So
but
congratulations on that.
thank you.
Well done,
Thanks.
You got it, girl. You got it.
I have to say, like, me personally, I am inspired by your drive and your ambition in that, and I find it sad when men feel inferior to women for whatever reason, or like, you know what I mean, like they feel like
Been there.
they
And,
it-
shout outs to the exes, right? Hey.
but like, yeah, 100% you're inspiring, and like I feel like every time I see like you in the gym, or every time I see you, I'm like, I gotta get to the gym. I gotta do more. I gotta do more squats, man.
It's that little competitiveness, right? Like you got to compete somehow, because like you feel like if they can do it, I feel like I'm not pushing the way that I should be pushing.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of like the competitive spirit is like, okay, you know what, I'm going to do more squats because I see she's doing more squats. If you can do it, I can. And that's how you started your bodybuilding thing, right? Like you saw someone else saying like, oh, they've done this amount of time in 12 weeks. And then boom, if they can do that, I can do that too.
Yeah.
And that, I really think that you had that self-confidence without even you knowing it. Because like, imagine if you were, because people can look at that as like 12 weeks of hard work. I don't think I could do that. But you looked at it and be like, you know what? I'm going to change the way that I eat, drink, and work myself out. And guess what? I'm going to do what they can do.
Yeah.
And, that self-confidence is really instilled in you. And I think it is instilled in everyone. It just needs to be unleashed.
That's right.
And that's how your one got unleashed.
It's all mental game. You have
Yes.
to have a strong mentality, and that's the foundation with fitness, with life in general. But with fitness, you have to have a strong mentality, because it depends. I mean, I wanted to pull out from a comp in particular so many times, and my coach turned around and said, and it stuck with me. She said, "Lisa, how badly do you want this?"
Hey.
I was like, oh, like I want it bad. Well, she's like, well, she's not going to stop me from quitting, because she tried stopping me from pulling out. And it got to the point where she was fed up. She was like, you know what? Like, if you want to quit, then quit. Are you a quitter? How badly do you want this? And
Sorry.
that was the comp that I won.
Yeah.
Because I fucked up. I mean, there's no perfect prep. I mean, I personally haven't had a perfect prep. There's life gets in the way, shit gets in the way. And it's a matter of getting back up on your feet and going ahead with the prep as if you never fucked up.
Yeah.
It's about, not quitting after you fucked up.
Yeah.
So for me, like, I had so many fuck ups, but you just have to do the extra work to kind of, fix your fuck ups, basically.
That's it. I always talk about in videography, if you fuck up, there's a way to fix it. You can put filters on it. You can hide it. You can, add a litlittle effect to it to hide it. Or and then imagine if it made that fuck up and the way that you hid that fuck up. Imagine if you didn't fuck up, you wouldn't have made your video better, because like you didn't try as much to hide the fuck ups. You know, I think
And be more creative.
To be more creative.
That's right.
The more you fuck up, the more creative you'll get to fix how you fucked up.
The more you learn, the
more
more
you
you learn
learn.
to adapt
Boom.
and think outside the box. Like for me, like I mean, I'm a photographer, so when I'm on prep and I'm shooting, people want to feed me, especially at weddings. Like people, and sometimes you're like, oh fuck, I can't say no, and I end up eating the food. But then there's
That messes up the
repercussions.
prep, yeah.
That's right. There's consequences. You're gonna fuck up, so you're gonna have to do extra cardio and eat less or whatever in your next day or week. I mean, it's not ideal, but you just got to roll with the punches, especially when you're on a time frame. If you got exactly 12 weeks or 8 weeks, 10 weeks, whatever the weeks are, there is a time limit for you to step on stage. And do you want to be on stage looking like a fat slob, like compared to the rest of the competitors?
Or
No,
looking
you don't.
unprepared,
You
yeah.
don't want to look like a fool.
Yeah.
So
I love it. The difference
it's
between
on
me and
you.
you is like when they feed me in the weddings, I'm like, oh yeah, here we go. This is what I've been waiting for.
No, I'm
Send
the
them
same.
all
But when it
through.
comes to like prep, it's really difficult, especially from my experience. I don't know if you know what water loading is.
Yeah.
Come like a week before comp, you have to water load,
Yep.
and then you water cut in order to shred. So for
They do a similar
example,
thing in boxing.
yeah. So for us, for example, if I need to be a kilo less or whatever, so I'll load 7 liters. For example, I'll load 7 liters and I'll piss out 8 liters. Therefore, technically, I'll be a kilo less. So that's just like an example I'm giving you. But for me, I only drank. I think I drank 5 liters in a day, and that's heaps for my body weight.
For
But-
context, it's just drinking lots of water.
Yeah, and pissing out a lot of water. So you piss out every 20 minutes. I kid you not, I was shoot. Here's a
going.
story for you.
Here we go. Here we go.
Here you go.
So I did a shoot,
Hey.
and I already pissed before I went to the shoot. I got to the church, and I need to piss again. I was like, no, I'll hold it in. But it got so bad to the point that I couldn't stand or squat. So what I had to do is take photos on the way out and then bolt for it. And I don't even know where the toilet was. I had to quickly piss, come back, and I just made it just in time. So it was either I missed the shot or I take the shot and literally piss myself in front. And these are regular clients, mind you, so they see me all the time. So ever since then, like, I
That's extreme.
cannot water load while you're shooting. It's so risky.
I mean, yeah, like boxers do a thing where they dehydrate before a weigh-in.
Yep.
So yeah, they
To make weight.
to make weight.
Yeah.
And so you are the lightest you are possible, and it's pretty dangerous sometimes because you
Oh, 100%. People
you'll
actually
sit
die
us-
from like water cut
yeah,
and water loading.
it's crazy.
Yeah, so that's why I don't do the fitness. Because, I'm shooting a lot. I just don't want to worry about the bladder. It's just too much of too much effort.
Too much hassle.
Yeah, I just want a random question. Because you started photography first and then went to the fitness. Did you realize how did you feel the difference in photography after you started getting more fit? Did you feel like you can handle like a whole day shoot and then
Yeah.
That's a
like
good question.
Yes, definitely. Especially holding gear. I mean, I'm not a videographer and where you have to hold, the gimbals and whatnot. I mean, I did do it at a point in time, and it was a lot of work on your forearms, and then you have to switch to balance out the
Yeah,
forearms.
I know,
right?
Cheeky flexes there.
I know Tai
Cheeky
Chi.
flexes there.
Yeah,
You know,
I had
she
to.
did.
Look at these
She's been
babies.
flexing all the whole interview. I've noticed. But with the gimbal, it's kind of like
It's hard work.
It's hard work.
It's hard
There's
work.
a lot of if I had a better core, I think I'd be a better gimbal operator.
Yeah.
But I do realize that I do a little bit of Tai Chi movements with the gimbal, and it's kind of I think working out the gimbal is probably my fitness probably because it is a hard thing to handle.
Yeah.
But
And it's not like you're doing reps. It's long reps, like one long rep where you're holding
sometimes you're
it.
holding it just like this for the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's and then
it's
you
painful.
slow down.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't do this at the gym. I don't do this at all.
That's your workout, your shoots.
It's just a workout. So but back to you. Did you feel that you can handle a shoot better?
Yes, it
Once
helps
the
with
fitness
my
came in?
cardio. Even weddings are crazy. Like it's non-stop. Like especially with Asian weddings are probably the worst because they're like 16, 18 hours even sometimes because I have the tea ceremony component in the morning.
Right. Yeah.
Where the bride, where the groom goes to the bride's house, bride goes with the groom, and then they have their, church or civil ceremony thereafter. But even carrying my camera gear with my laptop, all of it is so heavy on my back because I don't have a trolley, so I carry everything on my back, plus all my lighting gear that I'm carrying.
Hardcore.
And running around
And
all day.
lenses, and you were holding 2 cameras at least, right?
Yeah, two cameras. I always have it,
Got
2
the belt.
dangling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got the strap where I've got the cameras on the side, but becomes a bit fimbly, so sometimes you have to shove it back into the bag before you go to the next location. But yeah, definitely, like it's helped me with just my cardio and carrying my gear and being on my feet. That's a huge one, just having comfortable shoes and being on your feet the entire day.
Flexibility, because sometimes you have to do.
Yeah.
You have to contort your body to get the right shot
shots,
sometimes.
yeah.
Yeah. I know that for a fact. Like, sometimes you're going to be looking like a fool just to get the right shot.
Yeah,
And
you
like,
don't care. Like, you don't care what you look like as long as you get the shot.
Craziest story trying to get a shot.
Ooh.
Both of you guys go. Start with Lisa.
Craziest.
I mean, aside from the one where you almost peed yourself, but like,
well, like a typical one would be at a wedding after the church ceremony. You have to get the massive group shot, right? And sometimes you're limited with space because sometimes by the time they walk down the aisle, instead of going back inside the church to take the group shot, everyone's gathered outside and it's so difficult to, kind of usher everyone back in. So you end up taking the shot outside anyway.
Yeah.
So when I shoot with my mate Simon,
shout outs.
he's like been my human tripod like since the get-go. So I'll jump onto his shoulders and we'll take the grip shot like that. And each time we do it, everyone's like, "Ooh!"
Love it.
But obviously you have to be strong enough to carry me on your, on the shoulders, because some other photographers, like some other second shooters, they end up getting me a chair, but you can only prop up so much on a chair or a bench.
Yeah.
So jumping on someone's shoulders, doing those group shots are like
That's crazy. That's cool.
essential.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's
Trust
nuts.
Simon to do something like
Yeah,
that.
he actually, I think he ripped his pants once, like squatting for me to jump onto his shoulders, and he actually ripped his pants.
You got to do crazy things just to get the right shot.
Yeah.
What's your
Like-
What's your craziest story?
I don't know. I've filmed in boots opened just to get the car shot from behind. And I've also I filmed. People like want to get car shots, so like I got a gimbal and the boots open and like let's do this before people
Like, are you on the
see
highway?
us.
Are you on the
On the
highway?
highway, just quiet roads and stuff. And also like
Crazy.
That's like your dolly.
yeah, and I have to I got a fear of heights, okay? So
Yeah.
I have to
No bouldering for you.
No bouldering for me. But if I have to get the right shot, I will try and conquer that fear.
Yeah.
Like if it requires me to be once I was shoot, because I shoot real estate, right? They wanted to get a good view shot, so they wanted me to go on top of like the roof. It was like an apartment, and there's a roof like thing where you can walk, and then it's kind of like glassy. You can see through it underneath. Kind of like if you go to the Centrepoint Tower and you can see down and all that shit. But yeah, I went there not looking, and I tried to get my shot.
Bro.
And I'm like, all right, I got the shot. Just walk back. There's a lot of things you have to suck it up.